When you get hung up, you call a friend. Here we go! Hey everybody, so we have what I think is everything ready to go. Kind of showed you this in the last video. BabyD, it's all assembled, and I've been trying to figure out exactly how I wanted to try to put it in. So I've been out here messing with this thing. Don't think my old cherry picker will go high enough to get this assembly down in there. So I am about to pull the transmission back off. I put the motor in out here plenty, but I am going to put it in with the bell housing on this time. And I can't remember who it was, but somebody had commented about me using a screwdriver pick the motor up with. I do have one of these deals that rotates and tilts, and I'm gonna give it a try. I've never used it ever before, so I'm gonna give that a go. Get the motor back in, then I gotta wrestle the transmission back in from underneath, but I just can't help myself. I want to keep moving and getting this thing going. So let's get this transmission off and get this Arrington HEMI back in there. So one of the things that I've been working on while trying to decide how I was going to put the engine in the BabyD was the intake manifold. So this is the stock intake manifold that come off the 2018 Charger that our engine came out of. And I broke this off. Goes right here. When I first started, putting the motor in and out of the truck, I kept putting it in, putting it out. I should have pulled the intake off, and I hung this on the, I don't know, firewall or something, broke it off. It is a plastic intake manifold. And I got to be honest, I was not sure exactly what this was, wasn't sure. So when you get hung up, you call a friend. So I FaceTime Brent, PFI Speed. He's like, drill it, tap it, we'll move it. And it's not that big a deal. So that's what we'll do. But don't need to put the intake on until we're further down the road, so I'll get to that. But it was one of those things that's just been bugging me because I broke it and wasn't sure what to do. So the thing to do is keep going with what you know how to do, and then come back to that, drill it, tap it. Phone's ringing. Go see who that is. See you in a minute. We continue on here. I said something in one video about you don't get to be old being no fool. And so that may not be true. So I've separated the motor and the transmission. And then it dawned on me, maybe I can get it all in by simply taking the radiator out and the radiator support out. So I have continued to try to think of all the things that could cause me a problem once the motor's in, make it a little harder to work on, whatever. So one of the things was the hydraulic clutch line. So on the Silver Sport transmission, we've already talked about, I learned about a constant run throwout bearing, and it has a line that connects to it right there. This line has to connect to the cylinder on the truck, which is attached to the clutch pedal. So I have wrestled and fought and tried to figure out how to get this out. So I ended up calling Jeff Kaufman, and in that little hole right there was a roll pin. I pushed, I Googled, I YouTubed, I did everything you could think of. And I finally ended up taking the inner fender out of BabyD, and it was easier to knock that roll pin out from right there, which, to be honest, I probably could have done with the engine in it. And I'll tell you what else I figured out. BabyD, let me grab this flashlight, has been in a crash maybe, and it got some parts bolted on. I don't know if you can really see that, but it's gray underneath there, and under here it is that reddish maroon color. So I'm going to say BabyD has been in a fender bender. I saw some of that gray somewhere else too. Oh, right here, right there on the front bumper. So I'm going to say BabyD been in a fender bender. No big deal to me. It's probably going to be in another one at some point. I hope not. If it is, I hope it's just me tapping a wall somewhere. Nothing crazy. All right, just a quick update. Trying to get everything knocked out that I can before I attempt to reassemble the transmission back to the motor and then try to get it all down through there. And I think it will. We'll check back in later. All right, so just like Jeff at Silver Sport told me, get that roll pin out. You can see I put that little AN fitting that slides in there, and I will simply have to put a roll pin back through one of those holes. And he also warned me that there is a good chance that there will be an O-ring stuck up in there, and guess what? It was. So got that all out, and I just got to put a roll pin back in, and then at that point I think I got to bolt the transmission back together to the engine. Might try to get that thing put in there tonight. We'll see. Okay, it's going in as one piece. And remember earlier, I can't remember who said the comment, but something about the screwdriver. That is a problem. So now, somehow, some way, I got to get the motor to relieve all the pressure and connect a different way. But I think this is going to work. Maybe. I got it. It is in there. The Arrington HEMI with all of the Holly brackets. I don't know if you can see it back there, but the Silver Sport Magnum is in. All the stuff lined up. It worked. It's a tight fit. It was definitely the way to go, pulling the radiator support out of there and getting it all in there that way, but we got it. Anyway, folks, motor's in, transmission's in, clutch, bell housing, everything's in here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting on everything that we put up. We have a blast doing it. I'm a dirty guy. It's like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. I'm going to go in, take a shower, kick back, watch a little YouTube. Everybody, thank you for watching. See ya.